everyone, it's Chloe here, and I'm about to embark on the ultimate solo adventure in Stockholm. Get ready to join me as I explore this enchanting city over 24 hours, packed with incredible experiences and not so hidden gems. From wandering the cobblestone streets of Gamla Stan, Stockholm's charming old town, to immersing myself in the rich cultural heritage of Skansen, the world's oldest open-air museum. But that's not all. I'll be stepping aboard a stunning Art Deco boat dating back to 1912 for a tour around the breathtaking Stockholm archipelago. And just wait until you see where I'm staying, a super unique hotel that's sure to make this adventure unforgettable. Oh, and did I mention I'll be checking out a very fancy urinal? Trust me, you won't want to miss a minute of this epic city escape. So grab your passport and join me as we uncover the beauty of Stockholm together. Let's go! This is so pretty. Oh my gosh. Välkommen till Stockholm. I feel particularly fancy speaking Swedish, especially since I recently married a Swede. You're going to be joining me here in Stockholm as I travel solo. Without Ludvig this time, we're spending 24 hours in this city. We're going to pack in basically as much as we possibly can in the next 24 hours. We're going to start with a 90-minute archipelago boat tour around all of the beautiful islands surrounding the city. I'm super duper excited. We're then going to go and track down some fika and visit an open-air museum to see how the Swedes used to live in the olden days. Let's go and find this boat. Also, the more and more I do this, the less and less weird it feels talking to myself with my camera in the middle of a busy city with people looking. It's actually quite thrilling. Our archipelago boat tour set sail from the fancy Strandvägen, apparently the poshest area in Stockholm. We embarked on a vintage vessel from 1912, boasting exquisite Art Deco design.
My name is Maria, and I will guide you and tell you a little about what we see around Stockholm and in the inner archipelago.
Stockholm's fascinating makeup unfolded as we learned of its 40 islands interconnected by 57 bridges, I think she said. Along our picturesque route, we encountered the majestic Nordic Museum, a very grand building. Our guide shared Sweden's population statistics, highlighting that there is 1.5 million people in Stockholm city and 2.5 million in its suburbs, amidst the country's 10.5 million people in total. We passed by a historic windmill and discovered its role in producing linseed oil, a cornerstone of traditional Swedish craftsmanship. I learned that all wooden houses in Sweden were once painted red. Amidst the architectural wonders, we were surprised to learn that a massive brown palace, even more opulent than the Nordic Museum we just saw before, now served as an elderly care home. Imagine living in this. Navigating through the vast Stockholm archipelago comprising of a staggering 30,000 smaller islands, we were informed of Sweden's distinction as the world's island-rich nation. Along the way, we marvelled at cliffside mansions commanding prices of 3 to 4 million euros. Wow. Our tour guide also covered why the Swedes have such impeccable English, and apparently it's due to their preference for subtitles over dubbing TV and movies. Perhaps that's why my husband sounds American.
And for dinner I'm having tomato and pesto pasta.
The big ship to your right, we call this boat the party boat.
I also had a little chuckle as our guide told us about the party ferry that we were passing, the Viking. The one I just spent 17 hours on. She said it was the place to go to party and drink cheap beer.
To your right, you see this ship coming up. That's today youth hostels. You can stay on the boat. Island, ship's island.
As our tour drew to a close, we also passed by a yellow private school, or rather big, fancy school, that apparently the Swedish princess attends. And I was very excited to see the theme park that I had spotted during my ferry trip. Our guide did say that it was the shoulder season and not many of the rides would be open yet. So perhaps I'll have to save this theme park visit for a summer trip to Sweden. Alright, boat ride, phenomenal. Now, it's been really bugging me that in every single video I'm wearing this yellow hat. So I'm gonna go to a really popular store here in Sweden called Åhléns, and I'm gonna see if they have another beanie that I can wear, because this is getting a little bit too repetitive. On the way to Åhléns, I noticed a rather intriguing building. So I took a step inside and I was a little mind blown. P.S. That's why when I travel alone, I do like to walk everywhere when I can. It not only helps to keep me fit while exploring, but also allows me to find places that I potentially would have missed had I taken public transport. Östermalm's food hall. Oh, I hope I said that right. Östermalm's food hall is a culinary gem nestled in the heart of Stockholm. This historic market boasts a rich tapestry of flavors, aromas, and delights, making it a must-visit destination for you food enthusiasts. It did remind me of the old market hall in Helsinki, but far more grand. Here you'll find an eclectic array of stalls offering everything from artisanal cheeses and fresh seafood to decadent pastries and gourmet delicacies. Amidst this bustling market was a rather lovely looking restaurant with beautiful decor. Lisa Elmqvist. Elmqvist? Lisa Elmqvist. Lisa Elmqvist. Quist. A little bit peckish by now, I decided it was lunchtime. When asking for a table for one, the lady looked a tad concerned, as they were fully booked. There was, however, one small table left for me. Yay! This acclaimed restaurant is well known for its exceptional seafood cuisine, offering a fine dining experience that showcases the best of Swedish seafood. I ordered a most classic Swedish dish, smoked salmon and dill potatoes, with a whole lot of extra dill in there. Very dilly. And they did not skimp on the salmon. What a portion. This was very tasty, some of the best salmon and potatoes I've had to date. And it wasn't until I left that I noticed this sign here. No wonder it was so good. By the way, if you'd like to see more Swedish food on your screen, we actually made a full Swedish food tour for your viewing pleasure. We try some rather interesting things in there, so beware. Okay, lunch was amazing. Back to the original plan. If you like museums, I think Stockholm is your place. Yay! So I'm at Skansen Museum. You have the option when you enter to take that little train thing up that track or simply walk. Apparently it's only about a 5-minute walk, so I'm going to do that. Oh my goodness, I have literally only just stepped foot into Skansen and I'm already so glad I did. This place is amazing. It is so old-fashioned. There's a little band playing outside, a little old-fashioned bakery. I have literally covered like a 100th of the museum so far and I'm so darn excited. I've seen there's a bunch of animals, I've seen there's a bunch of old houses, there's some beautiful gardens, and apparently a few cafes and restaurants sprinkled around the place as well. And an aquarium. This place is massive. Luckily they gave me a map, so hopefully I don't get lost, even though I feel like I will. Let's go and explore all that Skansen has to offer. Skansen is like a time capsule of Swedish life. Founded way back in 1891, it's the world's oldest open-air museum where you can wander through about 150 old buildings from different parts of Sweden and different times in history. Think super cozy cottages, churches, and workshops. Oh my gosh! I've just seen some teeny tiny homes. These are so cute. But it's not just about old stuff. They've got a cool open-air zoo with Scandinavian animals like bears and reindeer. And I really enjoyed this live music they had going on in the town centre. It really had me feeling like I had stepped back in time. They even had a glass-blowing studio where you can just sit and watch these guys do their thing. Plus, the whole place is surrounded by beautiful gardens and green spaces. There is a lot of space. Perfect for a day of exploring, and if you love walking, oh my goodness, highly recommend going here. I think it was around 40 euros to enter. Wow. These houses are insane. And this, my friends, was about fika time. If you haven't heard, fika is a Swedish cultural concept that involves taking a break to enjoy a coffee or tea accompanied by a snack, usually something sweet like pastries, cakes, or cookies. Now you might be thinking, I do this every day and it's called afternoon tea. But for Swedes, fika is more than just a coffee break. It's a social ritual that encourages relaxation, socializing, and taking a moment to appreciate the small joys in life. Fika is deeply ingrained in Swedish culture and is often observed multiple times throughout the day, both at home and at work. It's a cherished tradition that promotes work-life balance and fosters connection between people. Although there are a lot of cafes to choose from for fika time, I was won over by this one because of the grandma's house vibes. I grabbed myself a black coffee, oh my goodness, Swedish coffee is insane, and an absolute fika classic, the cinnamon bun. I took a seat in the cozy courtyard and just enjoyed my fika really. When I first got to Sweden, I was not a fan of these cinnamon buns, but they've definitely grown on me. Whew. I am exhausted. Walking around Wisconsin took me a lot longer than I thought it would. It is just about 4 o'clock and they close at 4 o'clock, so I'm gonna have to head off soon. I did have all the best intentions to go to the ABBA Museum as well after this, but I just think I'm all museumed out now. I have been walking non-stop since I woke up this morning and I just want to go back to my hotel, have a shower, put my feet up and have some dinner. I hope to get a nice early sleep tonight because I want to get up and wander the old town Gamla Stan in the morning. It's one of the most picturesque places I've ever seen. I have been there before. I visited Stockholm with Ludvig a few years back and I remember Gamla Stan was a standout for me. Absolutely gorgeous cobblestone streets, little old buildings, lots of cute coffee shops and a few quirky things along the way. I'm gonna call it a day and I'll catch up with you in the morning when we pick up where we left off. Before we dive into the rest of our Stockholm adventures, I want to give a shout out to our amazing sponsor, Late Luggage. You might have already noticed these rather sleek yellow and black suitcases by my side. They're kind of hard to miss. Someone in the comments in a recent video said they look like bumblebee bags. I guess they do give off bee vibes. Let me tell you why I am in love with these bags. Not only are they super eye-catching with their bright colours, P.S. if you're not a fan of colour, there are super lovely black ones too. But they're also incredibly reliable and durable, whether I'm hopping on trains, ferries, or navigating busy airports. My Late luggage is with me every step of the way. I love that they feature TSA-approved locks for added security and expandable compartments for extra packing space. There is so much space in these. But my favourite part, the super spinny wheels. They are so smooth, and I'm always so excited by this. And if you'd like this beautiful luggage yourself with super spinny wheels, you can score 15% off with our special code Chloe and Ludvig 15. Now let's get back to exploring Stockholm. Good morgon. Hur mår du? I just said, good morning, how are you? It's day 2 here in Stockholm for me and I only have a few hours to explore, so I'm going to wander over to Gamla Stan now, the old town, and hopefully I get some time to see the palace as well. I'd like to mention as well how awesome this hotel is. It's called Hobo Hotel and it's right in the city centre within a close walk to everything. Not only that, but it's really, really quirky and cool. There's lots of fun little decorations and I really love the lighting and the vibe in here. It's awesome. Oh my gosh. The cutest hotel room. I love as well how colourful and artsy the lobby is. They've got fresh herbs growing there. They've got an extremely cozy lounge bar section. They've also got a gym, free breakfast, and free coffee, which I obviously made the most of. If you are looking for an awesome place to stay for a decent price, Hobo Hotel is really cool. I'm not working with them or anything like that, even though I would love to, but just a great place to stay, really. So with that said, let's go and check out Gamla Stan.
stroll through Gamla Stan, it's like stepping into a medieval fairy tale, right in the heart of Stockholm. The narrow cobblestone streets and colourful buildings have this magical vibe that instantly transport you back in time.
A little bit dizzy.
One of the coolest things about Gamla Stan is its mix of ancient and modern. You've got these centuries-old buildings standing side by side with hip cafes and boutiques. And fun fact, did you know this charming old town is one of the best preserved medieval city centres in all of Europe?
The first place I wanted to take you guys here in Gamla Stan is a very special one, and I think you're going to appreciate it a lot. It's a urinal. Let's go and check it out.
One of the weirdest things you'll stumble across might just be a urinal that's been getting its fair share of action for over 100 years. This here is the Källa Grand urinal, dating back to 1890. It's known far and wide as the oldest urinal in Stockholm. It's got prime real estate too, sitting right outside the old Stockholm Stock Exchange building.
Hey, what do we think? Cool? Yeah? Okay, cool. Let's go on to the next thing.
Gamla Stan is also home to the majestic royal palace, where the Swedish royal family still hangs their hats. This grand building boasts over 600 rooms, and it's one of the largest palaces in Europe. And if you're lucky, you might even catch the changing of the guard ceremony. Gamla Stan is also home to some cool museums. More museums, of course. And let's not forget about the charming little squares, like Stortorget, the oldest square in Stockholm, and no doubt one you would have seen pictures of. Gamla Stan is also a foodie's paradise, with everything from traditional Swedish fare to international cuisine, and lots of cinnamon buns.
Oh my goodness, look how cute the seating is outside this cafe.
And if you really do like old stuff, you can also visit Stockholm's oldest bakery, Sundberg Konditori, dating back to 1785.
Oh man, I had this feeling that the palace was going to be mega busy because Gamla Stan itself is absolutely packed today. If there's any advice I can give you, it would be to get here nice and early in the morning. It's almost lunchtime and the streets are crowded, and it's not even the peak of summer yet. I can imagine this place would be hectic during the summer months. I went to enter the palace to look around the royal apartments, and the ticket line was absolutely gigantic. Unfortunately, I have to check out of my hotel very shortly, and I don't quite have time to wait in that line, so looks like I'm going to miss out on the palace this time around. I did get to go with Ludvig last time we came to Stockholm, and I can tell you it is well worth it. And one last thing I would definitely recommend you do if coming to Stockholm, whether by yourself or with somebody, is to go on a Gamla Stan rooftop walk. Ludvig gave this to me as a surprise for my birthday around 4 years ago, and it was so much fun. It wasn't too high up either, so if you're scared of heights like me, it's not that bad. It's actually really cool. The views are beautiful, so that's another little fun activity you can do if coming to Stockholm yourself. Whoa! I also just accidentally right now stumbled across this really cool looking door that seems to say cafe on it, and there's like dungeon vibes going down a staircase. Should I go in? This is pretty creepy looking. Very cool. I don't quite have time to go to a cafe because I've got to go and check out of my hotel and hit the tracks. But that looks so cool. If you've got time, if you want to go to a cool dungeon cafe, that's your go-to.
That brings us to the end of our Stockholm adventures. Let me know below, have you been to Stockholm, or is it perhaps on your list? Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And you're going to want to stay tuned for the next video. We're jumping on a very special train journey. See you then.